Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Chris and this here is the star of the channel. His name is Rex. He just turned 5 last month. He was born January 18th. It was a Monday. I was at work. A friend of mine showed me some pictures of puppies that her friend's dog just had. And I fell in love with the first puppy I seen, which was him. There were 7 puppies. There was only 2 of them that were brindle, and he obviously was one of them. I asked if how much she wanted for the puppy and if I could have him, and she said he was free of charge and that she would hold him for me. Then I asked if we can go over and visit with him that coming up Saturday, and she said of course. So we went over there, spent 2-3 hours visiting with him, loving on him, getting to know him. From that moment on, every single week we went over there and spent 2 to 3 hours with him until he was 6 weeks old. We brought him home at 6 weeks. We had went out, bought him Tempur-Pedic Sealy dog bed, had his dog food, treats, tons of toys waiting for him when we brought him home. Within the first 2 weeks, he had already knew how to sit, stay, shake, lay down, roll over. I knew right then and there he was a very smart dog and was going to be a very smart dog. He has went through quite a bit of trauma throughout his life, starting when he was 3 months old. I went outside, him on a leash, and the neighbor had just gotten a dog. It was a husky mix, big dog. And the dog came out of nowhere and snatched him up by his back leg. And the one thing I will never forget is the look in Rex's eyes. The look he was giving me was like, how could you possibly let this happen? And it just is embedded in my brain. But everybody always asks me, they're like, oh, I would have done this. Why didn't you beat that dog? Why didn't you do what you could? And for the people that want to ask that question, you just don't know what it's like until you're in that situation. The only thing that was on my mind was getting Rex out of that dog's mouth and getting him safe. The dog had let go of Rex to clamp down again. And at that moment, Rex come flying up in my arms and I held him up and was walking in a circle while Jim was trying to call me into the house. But I didn't have enough space between me and that dog to safely walk inside without the dog following me in. Until the owner finally called it her dog and the dog went walking back. And that's when I jetted in the house. He ended up having a gash on his leg, and then he was almost neutered early because the other hole was pretty close down there. He ended up having to have stitches on the inside and the outside of his leg, and then in that area they just had to put a little bit of glue. They had given him some antibiotics to stop any infections, and then shortly after that he started having the runs, and come to find out the antibiotics had killed the good bacteria and the bad bacteria took over. So then he had to be put on more medication to fix that. He healed just fine. Everything was great. The lady had paid the vet bill, the emergency vet bill, and then I just told her, I said, all we ask is that you keep your dog on a leash. A couple weeks later, the dog had showed up at our back door looking for Rex. So that's when we decided to call animal control. And of course, animal control told her who had called, and then she came over pounding on our door, telling us that we were racist and telling us, just screaming all kinds of obscenities at us, wanting us to come outside. And of course, we just ignored it. It was whatever. After all that was said and done, when he hit 6 months old, he had to go in and get neutered. That healed up just fine, no issues. But after he did get attacked, his eating habits went out the window. He used to eat twice a day, no problems. His dry kibble, Now we have to make something healthy. Usually it's like turkey meat. We cook it up and mix that in. And then in the morning he gets some eggs mixed in it. And that's how we get him to eat. I don't know what it was about the trauma, but yeah, I'm talking about you. Um, and then I'd say probably a couple years later, just from how rambunctious he gets playing, he started limping a little bit on his back leg, and we took him into the vet. They did x-rays. They ended up saying that he had a little bit of a tear in his ACL. So she's like, we just got to keep an eye on it. Here's some ibuprofen for dogs, and just give that to him as needed twice a day. And we did that for a while, and then it got really bad, so we had to take him back in again. He was limping a lot worse, a lot more often. Took him back in, did more x-rays. It still wasn't enough for surgery or anything, so we just continued to do what we did. And then a little while later, probably a few months later, he went to go jump on the couch and couldn't make it up on the couch. And we walked upstairs to go to bed, and he fell down the stairs a little bit. He couldn't make it up there. So the very next day, we took him back to the vet, and sure enough, he had finally torn his ACL enough for surgery. So we got that set up right away. Spent a lot of money on getting him his ACL fixed. They put a metal plate in his leg, and because of him being such a hyperactive dog, they decided to give him 2 sedatives. They had him on a morphine patch, and they told us to keep him in his kennel with his cone on at all times, unless it was to go to the bathroom or eat. Taking him outside was a nightmare. It was wintertime, snow on the ground, so we had to wrap his leg up in a plastic bag and tie it. One person had to hold a towel underneath his back legs and kind of help him walk, while the other one guided him with the leash. And he had troubles going to the bathroom. He was just so out of it. So I took the morphine patch off a day early, and then I got him off the sedatives, kept him on his pain meds though, and I didn't keep him locked up in his kennel unless we were gone or I was sleeping. We put his bed in between our couch down here on the floor, and for being so hyperactive, he stayed pretty calm and didn't try getting up and walking the whole time that he was healing up. And he healed up just fine, and now no issues at all. He's good as new. They did say that most likely he would tear his other one, and he was for a while limping a little bit on his other leg, but never got to a point that we needed surgery or anything, and he hasn't been limping on it in a long time. It just amazes me on how much he teaches me. He teaches me that no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard times are, to always try to see the good and the positive in everything. Because all the trauma that he's ever been through, he's always stayed such a happy-go-lucky dog, so lovable, so kind. None of the stuff he's been through has ever changed his attitude one bit, other than his eating. So he's taught me quite a bit. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to drop a comment and let us know, and I will respond. We truly appreciate all the support everyone gives us, and please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. We will catch you all on the next one.